Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at your home place or residence where you live. Inshallah, Amin. I'm your teacher, Miss Sobianas from the Smart School Sir Syed Ahmad Khan campuses in Johor campus. As you all know that this is your history geography recorded video of your class 6, and today we will discuss your chapter of your history section, Islam first reaches subcontinent. Before I started explanation of this chapter, I want to clear you one thing, students. As we all know that why we are having these recorded videos, we are having these recorded videos because of the pandemic situation of coronavirus, due to which we are not able to interact with each other within a school. So that is why we are having these recorded videos and all your live sessions. So what is your responsibility, students? You all have to cooperate with your teachers, because we are making these videos for your sake, so that you can be cleared with the topic, chapter, whatever you have, and the headings that are included in your chapter. For this, your initiative, your cooperation, and your contribution is needed. So students, do watch all the recorded videos. Let's start explanation. All the students, kindly listen to the explanation of this video carefully, so that you all are be cleared with the topic and their headings. The first heading of this chapter is the spread of Islam. As you can see this picture map, you can easily see on the map that where all the areas through which we can know that the Islam has been spread. Okay, we will start explanation about this. You can easily look at the map. The background of the Muhammad bin Qasim arrival in Sindh is given in your page number 94, that I will explain you later on in this slide. Hijaz bin Yusuf, the powerful governor of Basra, had a fierce reputation when Raja Dahir of Debul showed reluctant to punish the pirates of expressed his inability to recover and return the looted cargo meant for the caliph in Damascus. Hijaz sent his young nephew to the region to avenge the insult. This was the age of youth. Muhammad bin Qasim was only 17 years old and already governor and of an important region in Persia, and now he had conquered Sindh. Tariq bin Ziyad, the youthful general, had conquered Spain, while young Qutayba had conquered Central Asia. The discovery and use of a symbol for zero is a most important contribution to mathematics and science. Before this, a full stop was used. Considered the confusion if a figure is expressed. Now, Islam had spread westward from Mecca through the Middle East, along the north coast of Africa into Spain and even France. Eastwards, it had reached Central Asia, Iran, and Afghanistan. Arab traders were sailing to the coast of India, Sri Lanka, and even Southeast Asia. Most of these ships sailed across the Persian Gulf and along the Makran coast. As they carried precious cargo, they were sometimes attacked by the pirates, as we have discussed, near the port of Debel, not far from where Karachi is now stands. The pirates were especially fierce in 710. In 710, they seized an Arab ship that was carrying expensive gifts and slaves from the king of Sri Lanka to Caliph Walid this Damascus. Okay. About Raja Dahir, the Caliph Ali demanded that Raja Dahir of Sindh should return to prisoners and treasures, but Dahir refused, saying he had no control over the pirates. These all things I have discussed already with you. Let's discuss some of the few things that at first the new territory was part of the caliphate, but in 871 it became two independent Muslim states. Muhammad bin Qasim was recalled to Iraq, but Sindh continued as the part of Arab Empire for the next 200 years. Governors were appointed by the Arabs, but actual administration was in the hands of the local peoples. But Muslims and non-Muslims, Jaiza and Zakat were collected. Qazis were appointed to resolve disputes. Any Qazi appointed हुए between Muslims while non-Muslim referred their problems to their own chiefs or priests, जो भी उनके हुआ करते थे. Besides the construction of mosques, temples were also built and repaired. Temples बनाए गए, mosques बनाई गई, repaired की गई उनको. The Arabs married among the Sindhis and settled down in Sindh. और Arabs ने जो है वो सिंधी से शादियाँ करना शुरू की. And they settled down in Sindh, and interaction between two races were a rich cultured blend. Arabic was the official language and Sindhi was the first Eastern language for the translation of Quran. The rulers were good to the people of the country. They were allowed to worship as they pleased. They were allowed to worship according to their beliefs. And most of the Hindus officials kept their jobs. Within the land now free from pirates, the number of Muslim traders increased rapidly, as well as goods that took back to Arabia and Persia. ठीक है, सारी चीज़ें लेके वापस गई. Many new ideas such as how to navigate their ships by using the stars and much knowledge about medicines. They learned new things about mathematics that I have told you in the starting also. The use of zero, which later led to many important discoveries. Now let's discuss about your next heading, that is of the Ghaznavids. Among the early Muslims were Ghaznavids, the most well-known being Sultan Muhammad, who made 17 raids over 30 years. The most famous of these was at the temple of Somnath in Gujarat, Kathiawar, 1600 km from his base in Ghazni. In a bitterly fought battle, the Hindus were defeated and Mahmud himself smashed the idol with a huge hammer. The famed treasure of the temple and its impressive doors were carried back intact to Afghanistan. Achha, you have to know about the Silk Road. ठीक है, the greatest trading route of antiquity, stretching from China to Europe with branch to subcontinent. It's not only provided goods, tea like propylene, gunpowder, printing from China, and gems, spices, perfumes, sugar, and cotton from the subcontinent, but also a vast amount of revenue in taxes charged to the merchants using this route. Now come to your next heading, that is the Ghori and the Sultanate of Delhi. Another set of rulers from Afghanistan was the Ghori, who captured Delhi and set up their sultanate. The Qutub Minar outside Delhi was built by the famous general Qutbuddin Aibak and named after the patron saint Khwaja Qutbuddin Kaki. The next ruler, Al-Tutmish, a clever, capable man, consolidated the Muslim empire in India. He was succeeded by his brilliant daughter Razia, who was eventually fell prey to a conspiracy against her, those who opposed a woman rule. The small state of Ghori, which is now Afghanistan, was ruled by two brothers One invaded Central Asia while other Muhammad Ghori invaded India under his great rule of Qutbuddin Aibak. His army swept across northern India, bringing all the area from Afghanistan to Bengal under control. When Ghori was murdered in 1206, his armies chose Aibak to be the Sultan. He was the first Muslim ruler of all northern India, and this was the beginning of the Delhi Sultanate. When Aibak died in 1210, he was followed by his son-in-law Al-Tutmish. As I have discussed it before, even more serious were the invasions by the Mongols from the Central Asia under the dreaded Genghis Khan. Now let's come to your next heading, that is of the Mongols. The Mongols were a group of loosely associated tribes originally from Mongolia who wandered the steppes with their horses and cattle. Originally named Temujin, Genghis succeeded his father as the chief at 13 years. He had to fight many enemies, but eventually he united the tribes and became their leader. He was given the title of Genghis Khan. The precious lord. He rapidly forced the other to accept his supremacy, यानी बड़ाई बहुत ज़्यादा जो है वो समझ लें हायर अथॉरिटी, and created an empire that stretched from the river Volga in Russia to the Pacific coast in China, west to east, and from the Persian Gulf to the Arctic Circle, south to north. A brilliant general and administrator, he was also absolutely ruthless and merciless to his opponents. He did not allow them to live. It was said that one could travel the length and breadth of his empire, unharmed. Genghis invaded the subcontinent, but after the indecisive battle against Al-Tutmish army, he retreated to Central Asia, where he died in 1227. The next noteworthy ruler of Delhi Sultanate was Balban, a ruthless man in whose region justice, though fair, was fearsome and cruel. Balban was successful in keeping the Mongols away, as he had forts built along northwards borders and equipped them with troops. Now, students, come to your next heading, that is of Razia Sultana. She is the remarkable and capable daughter of Al-Tutmish, who was groomed by her father to succeed him. She ruled for 4 years but was murdered by the nobles who did not like to be ruled by a woman. Discuss her way of life with you all. I am going to do this. Al-Tutmish grandson Nasiruddin was made the ruler, but the powerful general Balban ruled the kingdom for 20 years on his behalf and succeeded Nasiruddin in 1266. Actually, after Al-Tutmish's death, none of his sons seemed capable of ruling. So his daughter Razia Sultana took control and ruled for 4 years, as I have told you before. She was a strong ruler, personally leading her armies into battle, but nobles and generals did not like it. Balban also had to fight off Mongols' invasions when he died in 1296. He was followed by a number of weakened emperors until Alauddin Khilji came to the rule, or you can say throne. Alauddin Khilji proved to be a capable and good leader. He set up systems for governance. As soldiers, he was even more successful in driving out the Mongols and conquering much of southern India. Now, your next heading is of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Let's start discussion. After Alauddin, there was a struggle for power in 1320. Ghaziuddin Tughlaq became the ruler, succeeded by his son. ठीक है? Muhammad bin Tughlaq, we know a lot about his reign because of the famous Muslim travelers from Morocco, that is Ibn Battuta, lived at the Sultan's court for 7 years. यानी 7 years वो वहाँ रहे and left an account of what he saw there. Ibn Battuta says that the Muhammad bin Tughlaq did much for the people. उन्होंने लोगों के लिए बहुत किया, building great irrigation schemes, some of which are still in use. He built many hospitals, schools, homes, for old peoples and mosques. He did a lot for people. On the other hand, also made some decisions which proved to be very expensive mistakes, such as shifting his capital to a new city and the appointment of untrained people to high post. I hope you all are cleared with the topic really well, with the chapter, sorry, and the topics that are included in the chapter till your next recorded class. I hope you all will be fine, inshallah. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.